Yo, what's cracking everyone? Eric Ship 111 here, and we are back with another episode of Hidden Secrets, Easter eggs, and glitches on Forza Horizon 5. So for those who are new to my channel and don't know what this series is, well, this is a series where you, the subscribers, send me interesting things that you have found in Forza Horizon 5, and the ones which are the most unique and haven't yet been showcased on my channel will get a chance of being featured in a future episode. To send me the things that you have found, you can either write them down in the comment section below or direct messaging them to me through Instagram, Twitter, or Xbox, either by describing it or in video form. Please just make sure that it is in the best quality possible so it can be included in a future video. All of the links will be down in the description below. So without further ado, here are 7 new secrets, Easter eggs, and glitches that were recently discovered in Forza Horizon 5. Starting off with number 1, plane flying. Right, so I remember when Forza Horizon 3 first launched and the opening intro played, a plane landed on a long runway as if the story was saying, right, so previously we were in Southern Europe and now we have traveled halfway across the world into Australia. Now, when it came to free roaming in Horizon 3 and even Horizon 4 for that matter, the only thing we could see up in the sky that was purely aesthetics were hot air balloons. Now, in the intro of Forza Horizon 5, again, aircrafts and planes played an integral part of the prologue, releasing each vehicle onto the different terrains of Mexico. But where Horizon 5 differs from the previous Horizon titles is that from time to time you will actually see the Horizon plane fly across the scenery. Now, this doesn't happen too often, but yes, it's cool to see some other aesthetic props in the sky instead of just hot air balloons, as it does give the Horizon atmosphere a little more depth. How many of you have seen a plane flying in the background while you're free roaming? Anyways, a huge shout out to Raging Fire from Xbox for sharing this with all of us. Thank you. Number 2, inconsistent fitment. So as we know in Forza Horizon 5, we have some car models that date back to the Xbox 360 days and even to the original Xbox days with the first Forza Motorsport title as well. Cars like the Nissan Silvia S15, Subaru Impreza WRX STI 22B, and the Nissan Skyline GTR R32, just to name a few, are highly inaccurate models when compared to their real-world counterpart and are no match in terms of accuracy and detail compared to some of the new to Forza cars that have been introduced to the franchise since the Xbox One days. Now, there is another car that is a part of the old recycled car model, and that is the Honda Civic Type R EP3. Now, I won't get into details as to which parts are inaccurate, as I have discussed them in a previous video, but there is one issue here, and if we take a closer look at the car, especially in the garage, you can see that the wheel fitment is off. On the right hand side, you can see that the wheels are tucked right inside the wheel guard, while the left side looks as if it sits flush. Not something I have actually noticed if I'm honest, but a huge shout out to No Drifting from Xbox for sharing this with all of us. Thank you. Number 3, floating or... Right, so we can see that this player is floating in the middle of nowhere on the Hot Wheels expansion. Now at first I was like, where is this part of the map and how did he even get there? Well, as he pans the camera, you can finally see that it wasn't the player that was floating in the middle of nowhere or that he glitched into a certain part, but it was just parts of the Hot Wheels world not loading in. But the weird thing here is that as he begins to drive, you can see that the world texture flashes in and out, making him look like the motoring Jesus for 1 second and a normal Horizon player the next. Surely this has something to do with the hardware playing up, but still a very cool clip, and a huge shout out to Outlaw Racing 54 from Xbox for sharing this with all of us. Thank you. Number 4, driving right through. So just recently, Playground Games had a seasonal playlist challenge where you had to smash some Horizon trophies scattered around a certain part of the map. But did some of you get the problem where none of the trophies were actually able to hit? I know some players did, as you simply just drive right through them, not allowing you to unlock the challenge itself. Not the first time we have seen something in Horizon 5 that had hit detection problems, but anyways, a huge shout out to the RG3 from Xbox for sharing this with all of us. Thank you. Number 5, front wheel drive have no smoke. So one thing I get disappointed about in Horizon 5 is that certain features or details that were present in previous Horizon titles are either bugged or no longer exist. And to me, that's quite upsetting because usually each succeeding title from any game series should be an improvement from its older titles. But as we know in Horizon 5, that isn't the case in some regards. For example, the brake discs do not glow properly anymore, and this was never an issue in the past 4 Horizon titles. Paddle shifts once again do not work in cockpit view, in which they did back in Horizon 4, and also the Toyota Supra RZ no longer has its shift animation. But here is another small feature that perhaps not many players noticed, and that's because it has something to do with a front wheel drive car. You see, back in the older Horizon titles, let's say you are in a high powered front wheel drive vehicle and you decide to do a burnout. You can clearly see that the front wheels are smoking up pretty hard. However, in Horizon 5, despite the improvements in smoke texture, you can see that whenever you are doing a burnout using a front wheel drive vehicle, no smoke is visible at all. The only time you may see some smoke is from the rear wheels sliding across the tarmac if you start to gain some speed. Super interesting, as obviously when you are drifting or doing a donut in a rear wheel drive car, you can clearly see the smoke showing, but for front wheel drive cars, sorry, no smoke for you. Apparently, this has been an issue since the day Horizon 5 launched, and a massive shout out to Ant Tuned from Instagram for sharing this with all of us. Thank you. Number 6, no more backfire. As we know, just recently, Playground Games brought in 2 new body kits. One was for the Hyundai Veloster N from Ardro, and the other was for the Volkswagen Golf R Mark 6 from APR Racing. Now, one thing about the Golf Rs, at least in Horizon 5, is the backfire that you get. With a stock exhaust, the backfire is completely over-exaggerated compared to its real-world counterpart. With a sports exhaust, funny enough, there actually is less backfire than a stock system, but equip a full racing exhaust, then backfire just keeps going. But surprisingly enough, quite realistic compared to some of the Golf Rs with a stage 3 or even a stage 4 tune. However, once you apply the new APR Racing body kit preset, you will no longer get any backfire effects from your exhaust. It doesn't matter what system you equip, it won't be visible. And the reason why we know this as a bug is because in the audio you can hear the car backfiring on several occasions, but just sadly, we cannot visibly see it. Anyone else notice this? I know it's rather small, but I'm sure at some point Playground Games will patch this. But anyways, a massive shout out to Charlie from Instagram for sharing this with all of us. Thank you. And lastly, number 7, Horizon 5 10-year anniversary. So the other day at the Tokyo Game Show, Playground Games revealed a teaser trailer showing 10 years of Forza Horizon. It was actually quite a bone-chilling trailer as it showed the first Horizon cover car, the SRT Viper, driving through similar terrains and landscapes that was reminiscent of each Horizon title. Now, some information has been revealed by the team themselves, and it reads, and I quote, "Whether you started your Horizon journey in Colorado or later joined us in Southern Europe, Australia, Britain, or Mexico, you're invited to relive some of the series' most iconic gameplay moments in the Horizon 10-year anniversary update, available to download for Horizon 5 on October 11th, 2022. Look out for brand new Horizon story exploring the origins of the Forza Horizon series, the return of fan favorite music hosted on a fresh radio station, the adrenaline-filled Midnight Battles mode where you can score cars by winning head-to-head races, and much more. October 11th marks only the start of the fun, as it will be followed by 4 weeks of anniversary themed events and challenges on the festival playlist, highlighting each previous entry in the Horizon series. So that's very interesting to hear. It seems as though that not only will there be a theme for each Horizon title, but some returning features will be added that were once super popular in previous Horizon games too. Curious to see what Playground Games does, but I will expand more on this in a future video. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button as it really does help me out. And also, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 5 content right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.